Hello, my name is Frankie and welcome to the second day of my 7-day yoga challenge series. The purpose of this series is to give you one yoga class every day over the course of 7 days so that by the end of it you will have a range of different yoga classes to choose from and incorporate into your own personal practice. Yesterday we did a vinyasa flow and today we're going to be focusing on Hatha Yoga from this beautiful beach location from where I am here in Thailand. So let's get started with some meditation. As always, it's important to calm and settle our minds and really come into the present moment before we begin the movement. So starting in Sukhasana, cross-legged, lengthening the spine, rolling the shoulders back, sit up nice and tall, get comfortable here for the next few minutes. Closing the eyes, tuning your awareness inwards, and just for a moment, observing how you feel. Checking in with yourself, asking yourself, how is my mind today? How is my body? Noticing any thoughts, sensations, feelings, and without any judgment of them, just allowing them to settle, allowing yourself to feel them for what they are, to notice them for what they are. And focus your attention towards accepting all that is happening for you right now, within you and around you. There's no use from resistance. The best we can do for ourselves is to accept, to surrender. As you sit here and anchor yourself in the present moment, feeling your tailbone rooting you into the ground, I ask you to notice the thoughts in the mind, and specifically to notice these thoughts rising and falling, coming and going. Rather than attaching yourself to these thoughts, try to become the observer of them, watching them coming into your mind, and soon enough noticing that they will also leave the mind, like little waves, ocean waves, coming and going. And when you can come to a place of observation, when you can recognize this, perhaps it becomes easier to accept these thoughts, knowing that they're not going to last. So you may as well sit in peace, sit in calmness and contentment, and focus your attention towards dropping into a deep meditative state. The same thing goes for any bodily sensations. You can begin to observe them coming and going. And you can begin to get more and more comfortable in your body, in your posture, in your meditation. Let's introduce pranayama to allow ourselves to go even deeper. Today we're going to be working with Ujjayi breathing, a specific breathing technique that is really beneficial for soothing our nervous system. It requires us to breathe in and out through the nose, slowly regulating the flow of breath through your throat muscles. You can imagine the last time you steamed up a mirror with your breath, making a sound similar to this. And the idea with Ujjayi breath is to continue making this sound with the lips sealed, in through the nose, out through the nose. It may also be similar to the sound of the ocean waves. And it's going to really help us to activate our parasympathetic nervous system, bringing us into this state of rest and digest, coming into stillness, comfort. So let's try it together. Ujjayi breath in through the nose. And Ujjayi breath out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Inhale, noticing yourself rising up with the breath. And exhale, allowing yourself to sink and soften with the exhalation. Continuing at your own rhythm and pace, allowing yourself without any pressure or judgment or expectation to just slowly get into the rhythm of your breathing and focus your attention only on the breath, coming in and going out, just like we did with the thoughts and the sensations, noticing as they come and go, rise and fall, recognizing the impermanence of these things. A few more breaths here, giving yourself the permission to soften, to relax, to just focus on this breath, soothing and softening the nervous system. And then we can bring our hands to our heart center, prayer pose, Anjali Mudra. And before we come into our movement, this is our opportunity to set an intention for our practice and for our day or night ahead. Intentions are powerful because we deliberately choose one thing that we're going to focus on. It could be a word, a mantra, an affirmation. It can be something fairly simple and small, or something deeply personal to you. It's your choice what you choose to dedicate your practice towards. Make that known to yourself here in this moment. And allow yourself to come back to it over and over again. Releasing the hands, opening the eyes, and let's get started with our movement. We're going to start with the arms beside us, working a little bit on twisting our torso, really working with our spine, resetting it to its anatomical neutral. Inhale to reach the right arm up. Exhale to place the right hand on the left knee and the left hand behind you. On your next inhalation, take a deep breath into the chest to lengthen. And on the exhale, press your right hand into the knee gently to press yourself deeper into a fold, into a twist, and allow yourself to look behind you and twist deeper. One more breath in, and one more breath out. Beautiful work. Coming back through the center, reaching the left arm up, repeating it to the other side, placing that hand on the right knee, the right arm behind you. Taking a deep breath in to lengthen your spine and open the chest with that breath. And then look behind you to take your twist in the direction of your gaze, gently pressing the left hand into the knee to twist yourself deeper into our posture, Pavrita Sukhasana. One more breath in and a nice breath out. Beautiful. Let's reach both the arms up, looking up at the hands, and then gently fold over the legs. Beginning to walk the arms forward to take yourself deeper into this fold. Maybe place the forehead on the ground if it's available to you. But there's no pressure or expectation here. Just allow yourself to come into a full forward fold over the leg, to soften and to take a deep breath in and out of the stretch. Inhale and exhale. We're going to walk the hands over to the right side as far as you can. When you find your point of resistance, hang out there for one breath, feeling into the left side of your body, stretching and breathing into that space. Inhale. And a nice deep exhale. Through the center, we're going to walk it over to the left side, finding a point of resistance, pausing there for a deep breath in and out, continuing to work with our Ujjayi breathing. Inhale and exhale. Walking it back to center. And then just gently walking your arms, the hands, one by one, so that you come back to a seated position. Let's roll over the knees next. And we're going to come into our tabletop position. Placing the hands beneath the shoulders, the knees beneath the hips with a nice neutral spine. We're going to move through a cat and cow just to warm up the spine here. Inhale to drop the belly, lift the head and tailbone up. Exhale to round your spine and pull your navel upwards. Now we're going to continue between these two movements, adding a little bit more fluidity and flow. So creating circles is an option. Any movements up and down or side to side. Asking your body's intuition, your body's wisdom, how it wants to move. Closing the eyes so that you focus on what's happening within. And trusting yourself to really get into your body here. Continuing with the breaths. And then returning to our tabletop neutral position. Let's place the left hand here into the center. Reach the right arm up, coming back to a twist on our torso. And then we're going to thread the needle. So we're going to take this right arm underneath the left one, come onto the shoulder of the right arm. And here we can reach the left arm up to the sky, place it behind us, and find our right thigh with it so that we can take ourselves deeper into this twist. You can press the right shoulder into the ground, open up the left shoulder further towards the side, and without any pressure or pushing yourself too hard, just find a way to stay in this posture for one full, deep, long inhale and exhale. Breathing in and out. Reaching the left arm up, bringing it to the ground for support, pressing into the hand to unthread the needle, reaching the right arm all the way back up, and placing it down. So let's repeat the same on the other side now. Right hand goes to the center. Inhale to reach the left arm up. Exhale to thread the needle, coming onto the shoulder of that left arm. Reaching the right arm up. You can see that I'm twisting the spine. You can keep it here maybe, or if it's available to you, you can bring that hand on the thigh and gently begin to twist yourself deeper, focusing on the breath, because it's going to help you to find a deeper variation of the posture without pushing yourself. Just using that breath to sink into it. Reaching the right arm back up, placing it down for support, pressing into it to take the left arm all the way up and bring it down. Beautiful work. From here, let's tuck the toes, lift the knees and hips up and back into our first downward facing dog. So begin to move gently in this posture, bending the knees one at a time, shifting your hips side to side, continuing to ask your body, how can you intuitively get deeper into the shape and not become stagnant, but play around a little bit. This can be an uncomfortable posture for many of us, and the last thing we want to do is just to become stagnant. And of course, if we continue breathing, that flow of breath is going to help us to stay active, to stay strong. So take a deep breath into your shape as you deepen it. And exhale, pressing your hands away from you, sending your heels down towards the ground. Inhale to reach the right leg up to the sky, stretching through the leg, pointing or flexing the toes. Exhale to bend the right knee and open up the right hip flexor by taking that right foot behind you. And just for one round of breath, focusing and sending the breath into the right hip flexor opening. Reaching the leg back up to three-legged dog. And then bringing that foot forward, stepping it between your hands. Here we can drop the back knee. Inhale, take the arms up to crescent lunge. We have a nice soft variation here with the knee on the ground, but if you do want a challenge, you can always keep it raised. Next, we're going to take both the arms down to the ground. Inhale the right arm up. We're working with a lot of twists here. Exhale, place it down. Inhale with the left arm up. Exhale to place it down. Inhale, crescent lunge, sinking into that front knee, allowing the left hip flexor to open this time. And then backing out of the shape, bringing our hands to our heart center. We're going to take a nice deep breath in to open the heart. And then we're going to hook the left elbow outside of the right thigh to come into a nice twist. The more we come to these twists, the more deeper you should be able to go. And these twists are really beneficial for resetting the spine to its anatomical neutral. Also working with our intestines, with our digestive tract, helping to clear it. And of course, you can raise the back leg here if you need to, or if you want to. Raising the arms back up after a few breaths. And bringing them down. Here we're going to step back into a plank pose, and from here into downward facing dog for a full breath in and out. Beautiful. Let's repeat the same on the other side, reaching the left leg up to the sky, stretching the legs, pointing or flexing the toes, and then bending the knee and opening up the left hip flexor, taking that foot out behind you and taking a deep breath into that stretch and opening here. Bringing the leg back to three-legged dog and then slowly stepping it forward between your hands. Dropping the back knee. Inhale, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana on the other side. Exhale, bringing the hands down. Inhale to open up to one side. Exhale to bring it to the floor. Inhale, opening up the left arm. Exhale to bring it down. Inhale, crescent lunge, dropping into this front knee as much as it's available to you, as much as you would like to. Allow yourself to open the right hip flexor this time. Breathe into it here. And then back out of the shape, bringing your hands back to your heart space. Breathe in to open the chest. And as you breathe out, hook the right elbow outside of the left thigh, coming into our twist on the other side. Pavrita Anjaneyasana. Of course, you can raise the back leg once again. It's your choice, but we want to focus on the twisting rather than pushing or challenging ourselves too much. Really allow each inhalation to come into the chest for length, and each exhalation to deepen you into the twist. Inhale back to our crescent lunge, and exhale to take the hands down. Tucking the toes of the back foot, raising the knee, stepping into our plank, and then into our downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale, reach the right leg up one more time. Exhale, bring that knee forward and place it down. We're going to come into our pigeon pose. So make sure that there is no discomfort here. If there's any pain, then come out of the pose, or just back out of it a little bit at any point when you might feel a sensation. You want to make sure that your hips are squared forward and that the back leg is nice and straight without any twists. Slowly, when you have the correct alignment, you can begin to lower yourself down into sleeping pigeon, finding a way to allow for your head to release and for your own weight to fold over yourself and allow this right hip to begin to open up using gravity. Continuing to work with your breath here and just really feeling into the sensations in the right hip, allowing the hips to open, to soften, to release any tension or tightness. Gently with each breath, letting go. This is another beautiful posture for surrendering, coming into safety, even though it might feel a little bit like a deep stretch. Stay with it, or if needed, back out of it a touch. Beautiful work. Let's slowly come back onto the hands. From here, we're going to lean over to the right hip to create space for the left leg to come forward. We're going to lean back to cross the feet at the ankles, roll over the knees, and through plank, return to our downward facing dog. Take a moment here to notice the difference between the right hip and the left hip. And then let's do the same on the other side. Inhale, reaching the left leg up. Exhale, bring the knee forward. Place the foot down, setting up for our pigeon on the other side. Making sure that the right leg is nice and straight, squaring the hips forward. And then leaning over, beginning to allow yourself to soften and surrender over the leg. Noticing the sensations in the left hip, really allowing them to be there, and not only that, but to also release. A beautiful way to release is to use your breath, allowing your breaths to continue to be deep, letting go of any stored tension or tightness in the hips. A few breaths here. Beautiful work. We often store a lot of tightness in our hips, not only physically, but also emotionally. So it could be that in this posture, you could become a little bit emotional, or it can become a little bit difficult, but really be there for yourself. Trust yourself that you are not pushing yourself too far, but you're really just helping yourself through this, and that when you come out of the shape, you're going to feel better, both physically and perhaps emotionally. Gently coming out of the shape, taking your time here. Leaning over to the left side, bringing that right leg through. Leaning onto the hands to cross the feet at the ankles. Roll over them. Stepping back into plank. And from plank into our last downward facing dog. Noticing how much deeper you are likely to go into the shape now that we worked on our spine, on our hips. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And the soothing Ujjayi breath out the nose. Inhale, lift the heels, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees to step forward. Inhale for a nice halfway lift. And on the exhale, bend the knees and take a seat. We're gonna make our way onto the mat using our core strength, working with Navasana boat pose. Placing the hands beneath the thighs, leaning back a touch and raising the legs parallel to the ground. Here you can take your arms out and just really begin to feel the abdominal muscles activating. Feeling into your strength. Maybe straightening the legs for a challenge and feeling into the shake. And then lowering yourself down onto the ground. Bending the knees. We're going to reach through the inside of the leg to grab the outer edges of the feet and come into a happy baby pose. Coming back to those hips, adding a little bit of dynamic movement to really allow them to open up, to soothe and soften them. Releasing the feet down to the ground, opening up your legs into a diamond shape. We're gonna come into Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound ankle pose. I invite you here to close the eyes, to begin returning to our meditative state of mind, bringing your right hand onto your belly and your left hand onto your heart space. Here for a moment, allow yourself to notice what's happening within you. And then shift this awareness to your breath and to your heart beating. Feeling as your breath moves in and out of your belly. Feeling that with the right hand. And with the left hand, feeling your heart beating into your chest. Taking a moment here to express deep gratitude for our bodies, for its function, for our health and vitality. Our breath, our heartbeats, working for us every second of every day. So often these things are taken for granted, yet are so essential to us being alive. So just really take a moment of appreciation here for yourself. You can allow this appreciation to begin to wash over your whole body and being. And with that feeling washing over you, begin to come into your Shavasana, final resting position. Taking the feet out nice and wide, taking the arms out, spreading yourself, taking up the space. You've earned it and you've deserved it. It's important that we take a few minutes here at the least to just process the work that's been done, to allow our bodies and minds to rest, to process, to digest, to come back to that meditative state before we go on with the rest of our days. nothing left to do, nowhere else to be, except for in this present moment, embracing it for all that it is. Allow your breath to return to its natural pace and rhythm. And you can bathe in the comforts of Shavasana for as long as you desire. When you're ready to come out, take it very slowly, just moving your hands and feet. Gently begin to transition over to your side into a fetal position. Take an intimate moment or two here with yourself. There's no rush. It's important to note how you come out of the practice and how you rise back into the rest of your day or night. When you're ready, keeping the eyes closed, you can return to a seat the same way that we started. Coming back to our seated position, Sukhasana. Bringing the hands back to our heart, noticing and observing how we feel now compared to the start of the class. Coming back to the intention that we may have set at the beginning of the class, reaffirming it or reshaping it to suit you onwards from this practice. And whenever you're ready, releasing the hands and opening the eyes to finish our yoga practice. You can take your time from here, there's no rush. Thank you so much for joining me for this Hatha practice. I really hope that you enjoyed it and gained benefit from it. This was day 2 of the 7-day yoga challenge series, and I will be back again tomorrow with a different style of yoga. Any feedback, thoughts are very welcome and requested. Please let me know what you liked, what you might have disliked and would like to change for future videos. And I would love to hear from you in general, also with any requests that you might have for upcoming videos. Thank you again. I wish you a beautiful rest of your day or night, and see you in the next video. If you like my content, please consider funding me on Patreon. With your support, I'll be able to continue filming beautiful and consistent videos. There are also a lot of perks to becoming a patron, such as behind-the-scenes content, live question and answer videos with me every month where you can ask me anything, and exclusive videos tailored and sent out to my patrons every month around self-care rituals and meditations, and a lot more. If you're interested, you can take a look at my Patreon account in the link description below. Any of your help, support and contribution is highly appreciated.